I'm grateful you joined tonight. Your brain is creating entire worlds right now as you rest, constructing vivid experiences from memory, desire, and imagination. Tonight, you'll discover how lucid dreams reveal your deepest wishes hidden beneath consciousness. And by the end, you'll understand why these dreams are windows into your truest self. Welcome to Psychology for Sleep. Wherever you are right now, perhaps wondering about dreams you've had where you suddenly knew you were dreaming, or feeling curious about what those strange moments might mean, allow yourself this gentle exploration. We'll journey through 100 psychology facts about lucid dreaming and desire, from the moment awareness flickers inside a dream, to the brain regions lighting up with self-reflection, to the hidden truths your sleeping mind whispers to you. This thoughtful journey through consciousness builds bridges between searching minds. A soft subscribe, like, or sharing your thoughts creates a pathway for more dream seekers to discover and brings us closer to protect this sanctuary. One sleepy soul at a time. Your journey inspires ours. Let yourself settle completely here. Feel your jaw unclench, your breath deepen naturally. You can let these thoughts drift past without holding them. Sense that soothing heaviness enveloping you, like your consciousness slowly dimming its brightness. Thoughts dissolving into the peaceful fog of approaching sleep. Safe and undisturbed. Close your eyes and breathe deeply. You're floating where memories rest safely in gentle darkness. Let your mind merge with infinite peace. And now we begin. Lucid dreaming happens when you become aware you're dreaming while still asleep. It's a strange hybrid state that scientists once thought was impossible. During normal dreams, you accept everything as real, no matter how bizarre. A purple elephant might walk through your living room, and you don't question it. But in lucid dreams, something shifts. Suddenly, you realize none of this is actually happening. You're watching your own mind create a world from nothing. Research from 2025 confirms this is a distinct state of consciousness, separate from both regular REM sleep and waking. Your brain enters a unique configuration where parts responsible for self-awareness activate while you remain deeply asleep. It's like being awake inside the dream, aware of the dreamer and the dream at the same time. This awareness opens a door to something profound, a direct conversation with your unconscious mind. Only about 1 in 1,000 people experience lucid dreams regularly and spontaneously. Dr. Benjamin Baird from the University of Texas notes this small segment exists naturally, having lucid dreams multiple times per month without any training. Most people, however, have maybe 1 or 2 lucid dreams per year, if any at all. Some never experience them at all. This rarity makes lucid dreaming feel almost magical to those who discover it. Scientists still don't fully understand why some brains spontaneously develop this ability while others don't. It may relate to how your prefrontal cortex, the brain region for self-reflection, naturally functions during sleep. Those who lucid dream often describe it as one of the most fascinating experiences of their lives. A glimpse into a hidden capability most people never know they have. Lucid dreams happen almost exclusively during REM sleep, the dream-rich stage of your sleep cycle. REM stands for rapid eye movement, because your eyes dart around beneath closed lids, tracking the dream imagery you're experiencing. Your brain during REM looks remarkably similar to your waking brain on scans. highly active and processing information, but your body is paralyzed, a safety mechanism preventing you from acting out dreams. This paralysis doesn't affect your eye muscles, which is how researchers first proved lucid dreaming was real. In the late 1970s, Dr. Stephen LaBerge trained lucid dreamers to signal from inside their dreams using prearranged eye movements. Left, right, left, right. Those signals showed up on sleep lab equipment, proving the dreamer was genuinely conscious while asleep. That discovery changed everything. The prefrontal cortex, located right behind your forehead, plays a crucial role in lucid dreaming. This brain region handles executive functions like planning, decision-making, and most importantly, self-awareness. During normal REM sleep, the prefrontal cortex is relatively quiet, which explains why regular dreams feel so accepting of impossible situations. You don't think critically. You don't question reality. But during lucid dreaming, a 2025 study led by Sahate Demirel found something remarkable. The prefrontal cortex partially reactivates, creating what scientists call a hybrid state. You're asleep by all measures, yet conscious in a way that resembles waking. Beta brain waves, typically associated with alert thinking, appear in regions that should be resting. This reactivation of self-reflective circuits is what allows you to think, wait, this is a dream. Lucid dreamers show larger gray matter volume in their frontopolar cortex compared to people who rarely or never have lucid dreams. Gray matter consists of neuron cell bodies, the actual thinking tissue of your brain. A 2015 study found that people who frequently lucid dream have physically more of this tissue in area BA9/10, a region linked to metacognition. Metacognition means thinking about thinking, being aware of your own thought processes. It's the ability to step back and observe your mind working. The size difference isn't huge, but it's measurable and significant. What's fascinating is the question of cause and effect. Were these people born with larger frontopolar cortices, making lucid dreaming easier? Or did practicing lucid dreaming actually grow this brain region? Scientists suspect it works both ways. A feedback loop between brain structure and conscious experience during sleep. When lucid dreaming begins, gamma brainwaves surge in the precuneus, a region deep in your brain involved in self-referential thinking. Gamma waves are the fastest brain waves, appearing when your mind is highly alert and focused. The precuneus activates when you think about yourself, your memories, your identity. In waking life, this region helps you distinguish between me and not me. During regular dreams, this distinction blurs. You might be yourself or someone else, or shift between identities without noticing. But when lucidity strikes, the precuneus lights up. Researchers found in 2025, your sense of self suddenly crystallizes inside the dream. You recognize yourself as the dreamer, separate from the dream content. This moment of recognition is often described as electric, a sudden clarity cutting through the fog of sleep. Lucid dreams are not the same as vivid dreams. Many people confuse the two, but they're quite different experiences. A vivid dream feels intense and realistic, full of clear imagery, strong emotions, and detailed sensations. You might wake up thinking it really happened, but during the dream itself, you believed it was real. Lucid dreaming requires something more. the explicit awareness that you are dreaming while the dream unfolds. You might have a dull, grey, boring lucid dream where you're just standing in an empty room, but you know it's a dream. Conversely, you might have an incredibly vivid dream of flying through canyons, feeling the wind, seeing every detail, yet never realize it's not real. The distinction is consciousness, not intensity. Lucidity is about awareness, not experience quality. Different levels of lucidity exist, ranging from barely aware to fully conscious and in control. Dr. Jennifer Wint, who studies consciousness during sleep, describes these as gradations rather than an on-off switch. At the lowest level, you might have a fleeting suspicion you're dreaming, but quickly forget or rationalize it away. Mid-level lucidity means you know you're dreaming and can observe the dream, but can't control what happens. You're a conscious passenger. High-level lucidity involves full awareness and the ability to manipulate the dream environment at will. You can fly, summon people, change locations, alter physics. Some lucid dreamers report moments of such profound clarity that they feel more awake inside the dream than they do in daily life. These peak experiences, though rare, reveal the extraordinary range of consciousness possible during sleep. Scientists can now communicate with lucid dreamers in real time during sleep. This sounds like science fiction, but it's real. In 2024, multiple studies demonstrated two-way communication between researchers and sleeping participants. The dreamer, trained beforehand, signals they've become lucid using eye movements. The researchers then ask simple questions, yes or no, by flashing lights or playing sounds. The dreamer hears these cues inside their dream and responds with pre-arranged eye movement or breathing patterns. One participant even solved simple math problems while asleep and dreaming. These experiments, sometimes called interactive dreaming, prove that the lucid dreaming brain can process external information and respond rationally. The boundary between sleep and wake is more permeable than anyone imagined. Lucid dreaming is already changing our understanding of consciousness itself. It demonstrates that awareness is not binary, not simply awake or asleep. Instead, consciousness exists on a spectrum with many possible configurations. You can be conscious without sensory input. You can think without a body. You can make decisions without being awake. Lucid dreaming shows that the prefrontal cortex, the seat of self-awareness, can partially activate independently from other wake systems. This has profound implications for understanding coma, anesthesia, meditation, and even death and dying. Researchers studying altered states of consciousness, from psychedelic experiences to deep meditation, find remarkable similarities with lucid dreaming. All involve changes in self-awareness and reality perception. By studying lucid dreams, we're learning how consciousness constructs reality itself, both sleeping and waking. About 17% of people successfully have a lucid dream on their first night using modern induction techniques. A 2024 Northwestern University study tested targeted lucidity reactivation using just a smartphone app. Participants received pre-sleep training, associating a sound with awareness. Then the app played that sound during detected REM sleep. On the first night, roughly 1 in 6 participants signaled lucidity. This success rate is remarkably high compared to traditional methods requiring weeks or months of practice. The technique combines cognitive training with external cues at precisely the right moment. It's like leaving yourself a wake-up call inside your dreams. The second night, participants who received the real cue again maintained this rate, while control participants dropped to only 5%. This proves the technique works through specific mechanisms, not just expectation or chance. Lucid dreaming shares neural similarities with meditation, particularly in metacognitive abilities. A 2024 study found that frequent lucid dreamers tend to have regular meditation practices, and both involve heightened self-awareness and meta-awareness. Meta-awareness means being aware of what you're currently aware of, noticing where your attention rests. Meditators practice this during waking, observing thoughts arise and pass without getting lost in them. Lucid dreamers do the same thing during sleep, maintaining enough self-reflection to recognize the dream state. Brain imaging shows both practices strengthen the same prefrontal networks. Some researchers believe meditation training may facilitate lucid dreaming by building metacognitive skills that transfer to sleep. Tibetan Buddhist dream yoga, practiced for centuries, essentially combines meditation with intentional lucid dreaming for spiritual development. Your eyes continue moving during lucid dreams, tracking dream imagery as if it were real. This fact allowed researchers to first prove lucid dreaming exists. When you dream of looking left, your physical eyes move left beneath your eyelids. When you track a flying bird across the dream sky, your actual eyes follow its path. This one-to-one correspondence between dream perception and eye movement is remarkable. Your body remains paralyzed, but your eye muscles stay active, creating a communication channel from inside the dream. In sleep labs, researchers watch these eye movements on monitors, seeing the precise moment a dreamer becomes lucid. It's like watching someone's thoughts translated into motion. The eyes become a window not just to the soul, but to consciousness itself, operating across the boundary of sleep. Lucid dreams can be induced through multiple different techniques, each with varying success rates. Reality testing involves repeatedly asking yourself throughout the day, "Am I dreaming?" Eventually, the habit carries into sleep, triggering lucidity, mnemonic induction, or MILD. As you repeat an intention like "Next time I'm dreaming, I'll remember I'm dreaming before sleep." Wake back to bed involves waking after 5 hours, staying alert briefly, then returning to sleep, entering REM sleep with more consciousness. External stimulation during REM, like flashing lights or sounds, can trigger lucidity without waking you. More recently, researchers tested targeted lucidity reactivation, combining pre-sleep training with timed cues during sleep. Some people even use devices, headbands or apps that detect sleep stages and deliver stimulation. The variety of techniques suggests multiple pathways into lucidity, different routes to the same destination. During lucid dreaming, beta brainwaves increase in the right temporal lobe and parietal lobe. These regions control spatial awareness and self-perception, your sense of where you are and who you are. Beta waves are high-frequency oscillations associated with active, conscious thought during waking. Their presence during sleep is unusual and significant. In normal REM sleep, slower theta waves dominate, but when lucidity emerges, Beta activity spikes in areas that would be active if you were awake and thinking about yourself. A 2025 study analyzing brain data from multiple labs worldwide found this pattern consistently. The right temporal lobe helps you navigate space and recognize places. The parietal lobe processes touch and body awareness. Together, they ground your sense of physical presence. Their activation may explain why lucid dreamers often feel fully embodied in their dreams, experiencing sensations as vividly as waking. People who lucid dream frequently show enhanced self-reflection skills, even while awake. Dr. Elisa Filovich found that individuals who easily control their dreams score higher on tests of metacognitive monitoring during daily life. They're better at judging their own knowledge, predicting their performance, and assessing their confidence accurately. This suggests lucid dreaming isn't just a quirky sleep phenomenon. It's connected to fundamental self-awareness capacities. The ability to step back and observe your thoughts, to think about your thinking, manifests both sleeping and waking. Some researchers wonder if teaching lucid dreaming could actually improve metacognition in waking life. If you can learn to recognize a dream as a dream, perhaps you can also better recognize your own thought patterns, biases, and assumptions. The skill transfers. Consciousness, observing itself. Lucid dreams have been successfully combined with cognitive behavioral therapy to treat nightmares, especially in people with narcolepsy. A small 2024 clinical trial at Northwestern Medicine found that teaching nightmare sufferers to become lucid during frightening dreams significantly reduced nightmare frequency and severity. The approach combines traditional nightmare therapy, where you rehearse alternative endings while awake, with lucidity training. When you become lucid during a nightmare, you remember you're safe. You can change the dream narrative, confront the threat, or simply wake yourself. All 6 patients in the trial reported improvement. This has profound implications. If we can train people to gain consciousness during their worst dreams, they regain agency over their most helpless moments. Nightmares lose their power when you remember their constructions of your own mind. The transition from normal dreaming to lucid dreaming involves a measurable shift in brain connectivity. In 2025, researchers found that lucid dreaming is associated with widespread communication across different brain regions. Networks that normally operate separately begin synchronizing. Frontal areas responsible for executive control link up with posterior regions handling sensory processing and memory. This increased integration creates the unique conscious state. It's as if different parts of your brain, usually speaking different languages during sleep, suddenly find a common tongue. Alpha waves in posterior brain regions show heightened connectivity compared to regular REM sleep. This synchronization may be what allows conscious reflection to emerge from unconscious dreaming. Your brain achieves a rare coordination, binding awareness across sleeping and waking systems simultaneously. Lucid dreaming is similar in the brain to the effects of psychedelic substances like LSD and ayahuasca. Both involve alterations in the precuneus, the brain region for self-referential thought. Both create a sense of expanded consciousness where the boundaries of self feel permeable. During psychedelic experiences, people often report feeling connected to everything, losing the sharp division between me and not me. Lucid dreamers sometimes describe similar feelings, especially in what researchers call transpersonal lucid dreams. These dreams involve spiritual themes, feelings of oneness, encounters with something larger than the individual self. The overlap suggests both experiences temporarily modify how consciousness constructs reality and identity. Neither is more or less real. Both are valid states of awareness, just different configurations of the same neural machinery. About 55% of people have had at least one lucid dream in their lifetime. If you've ever had that moment of realization, wait, this is a dream. You're part of a surprisingly large group. Many people experience it once or twice and never think about it again. The experience might have been fleeting, just a few seconds of awareness before either waking or slipping back into normal dreaming. Others find it so intriguing they pursue it intentionally. The fact that more than half of humans naturally experience this state, even briefly, suggests lucid dreaming serves some evolutionary function. Perhaps it's a useful cognitive flexibility, the ability to recognize and respond to internal simulations. Or maybe it's simply a byproduct of our powerful prefrontal cortex occasionally activating at the wrong time. Either way, it's far more common than most people realize. Frequent lucid dreamers are rare, but they exist, and they're helping scientists understand consciousness. Dr. Martin Dressler, a leading researcher in this field, studies individuals who have lucid dreams multiple times per week. These expert lucid dreamers can enter lucidity on demand in sleep labs, allowing researchers to study the state directly. They're natural experiments in consciousness. By comparing their brain structure and function to occasional or non-lucid dreamers, scientists identify what makes lucid dreaming possible. These individuals often report that lucid dreaming changed their relationship with their mind. They trust their cognition differently, knowing they can maintain awareness even during sleep. Some use their dreams for problem solving, rehearsing skills, or exploring psychological issues. They've learned to work with their unconscious mind collaboratively, rather than just experiencing whatever it produces. Lucid dreams can be longer than you might expect, sometimes lasting 20 to 30 minutes or more in real time. This surprises many people who assume dreams last only seconds. While individual dream scenes might be brief, a single REM period can sustain extended lucidity. Time perception inside dreams is notoriously fluid. Sometimes minutes feel like hours. Other times, hours compress to moments. But researchers timing lucid dreams from external signals find they unfold in relatively normal time. A lucid dreamer might spend half an hour dream time exploring a landscape, conversing with dream characters, or experimenting with dream control. The longest recorded lucid dream in a lab setting lasted over an hour. This duration gives lucid dreamers substantial time to accomplish goals inside dreams, whether practicing skills, seeking insights, or simply enjoying the experience. Your brain can't always tell the difference between doing something while awake and doing it in a lucid dream. Studies measuring brain activity during dream actions show remarkable similarity to the same actions while awake. When a lucid dreamer performs a complex motor task, like playing piano or doing gymnastics, the motor cortex activates in patterns matching waking performance. The brain runs through the same neural sequences. This has led some researchers to investigate using lucid dreaming for skill practice and rehabilitation. If your brain processes the action similarly, does it build the same neural pathways? Early evidence suggests yes, at least partially. Athletes have reported using lucid dreams to rehearse, and some studies find modest performance improvements. Your sleeping brain creates a training ground where you can practice without physical limits. Galantamine, a compound found in certain plants and used to treat Alzheimer's, can increase the likelihood of lucid dreaming. A 2018 study showed that taking galantamine during a brief awakening in the middle of the night significantly boosted lucid dream frequency. The substance works by increasing acetylcholine in the brain, a neurotransmitter involved in memory and REM sleep. This finding opened new avenues for research. If we can chemically enhance the probability of lucidity, we can study the state more reliably in labs. It also raises intriguing questions about the neurochemistry of consciousness. What other substances might modify awareness during sleep? Could we develop safe medications to help people with nightmares or those studying their dreams? The intersection of pharmacology and consciousness remains largely unexplored territory. By understanding what lucid dreams are, this hybrid state where awareness flickers inside sleep, we begin to see they're not just curiosities, they're openings. Moments when the barrier between conscious and unconscious becomes permeable. In these moments, something remarkable can happen. The unconscious mind, usually hidden, becomes visible. The patterns it creates, the symbols it chooses, the narratives it constructs, all become observable while they're being made. And in that observation, we find something unexpected. Lucid dreams don't just show us we're dreaming. They show us what the dream wants to tell us, what the sleeping mind has been trying to say all along. The question isn't just, am I dreaming? The deeper question is, what is this dream revealing? And we're about to find out. Let's pause here and notice your body. As you breathe out slowly, appreciate each tiny cell inside. Trillions of organisms working in silence. Heart beating, lungs breathing, brain dreaming, all without your command. Notice the gentle sensations on your skin, in your muscles, along your spine. You are a complete ecosystem, diverse, self-balancing, and somewhere in this body, dreams are being prepared, built from memory and desire. Now we continue. Dreams, whether lucid or not, reflect your waking life concerns, according to continuity theory. Research comparing people's daily diaries to their dream reports finds about 65% of waking experiences, activities, and concerns appear in dreams. If you're worried about a test, you dream about tests. If you're attracted to someone, they appear in your dreams. If you're processing grief, loss echoes through your night imagery. Continuity theory suggests dreams aren't random noise, but rather integrated processing of your daily life. Your brain doesn't generate dreams from nothing. It pulls from memory, emotion, and current psychological needs. This means your dreams, even the strange ones, are deeply personal. They're made from the materials of your specific life, woven together in ways that often reflect what matters most to you right now. Sigmund Freud famously proposed that dreams express repressed desires and unconscious conflicts. While modern science has moved beyond strict Freudian interpretation, the core insight remains valid. Dreams do reflect desires, though perhaps not always repressed ones. Sometimes dreams show you what you consciously want but haven't fully acknowledged. A dream of flying might express a desire for freedom. A dream of being chased might reveal avoidance patterns in waking life. A recurring dream of a certain person might indicate unfinished emotional business. Freud believed dreams used symbolic disguise to protect the conscious mind from threatening wishes. Today's researchers see dreams more as unfiltered processing, where concerns and desires surface without the usual cognitive filters and social editing we apply while awake. In lucid dreams, the desires your mind creates become visible while you're conscious enough to recognize them. This is where lucid dreaming becomes revelatory. Imagine becoming lucid in a dream where you're frantically searching for something. In normal dreaming, you just keep searching, never questioning. But lucid, you might pause and ask, what am I looking for? Why does this feel so urgent? Sometimes the answer comes immediately. Rising from the dream itself, you realize you're not searching for a lost object, but for security, or purpose, or connection. The dream's literal content becomes transparent, revealing the emotional truth underneath. Lucidity gives you the awareness to see the symbolic nature of dreams while still inside them, translating the unconscious language in real time. Dream content often dramatizes things you're avoiding or unwilling to face in waking life. Your unconscious mind doesn't censor itself the way your conscious mind does. It doesn't worry about being practical, appropriate, or comfortable. So it stages scenarios that your waking self would never allow. Maybe you dream of confronting someone you're actually afraid to face. Maybe you dream of quitting a job you consciously tell yourself you like. Maybe you experience desires or emotions you've intellectually rejected. The dream doesn't judge. It simply shows what's there, under the surface. When you become lucid, these dramatizations don't disappear. Instead, you gain the awareness to recognize them for what they are. Messages from the parts of yourself you don't usually listen to. Lucid dreamers often report that dream characters seem to have their own agency and wisdom. When lucid, you might converse with a dream person and find they say things you didn't consciously plan. They offer insights that surprise you, perspectives you hadn't considered. In one famous lucid dreaming experiment, researcher Paul Tholey asked dream figures, "Who are you?" and received profound answers. Some figures said they represented aspects of the dreamer's personality. Others claimed to be manifestations of the unconscious itself. While these characters are ultimately creations of your own mind, they operate with a kind of independence. They can say things you didn't know you knew. They can embody qualities you possess but don't acknowledge. Talking to them lucidly becomes a dialogue between your conscious and unconscious selves. The way you respond to situations in lucid dreams often reveals your instinctive priorities and values. When you gain lucidity and suddenly have control, what do you choose to do? Some people immediately try to fly, expressing a desire for freedom and escape from limitations. Others seek out specific people, revealing relationship priorities. Some try to create beautiful scenes or art, showing creative impulses. Some confront fears, demonstrating courage and growth desires. Your first instinct in lucid dreams bypasses rationalization and social performance. There's no one to impress, no consequences to fear. You simply choose based on what feels most compelling. Over time, patterns emerge. You discover what your unconscious mind most wants to explore, experience, or resolve. Your lucid dream choices map your hidden motivations. Recurring dreams often carry messages about unresolved psychological issues, and becoming lucid in them can facilitate resolution. Many people have dreams that repeat, sometimes for years. The same setting, the same feeling, sometimes even the same plot. These repetitions suggest the unconscious is trying to work through something that hasn't been resolved. When you become lucid during a recurring dream, you can finally address it consciously. You might ask the dream directly what it's trying to show you. You might change your usual response, trying something different. Often, successfully working through a recurring dream lucidly causes it to stop. The message has been received. The issue has been processed. The dream's work is done. Nightmares, especially recurring ones, often represent fears and anxieties you're not fully processing while awake. The nightmare externalizes internal distress. A dream of being chased might represent avoidance. A dream of falling might express lack of control. A dream of failing might reflect inadequacy fears. These scenarios feel terrifying because they're connected to real psychological vulnerabilities. Becoming lucid during a nightmare changes everything. You suddenly remember it's a dream, that you're safe. This recognition itself can transform the nightmare. The monster becomes less frightening when you know it's your own creation. Some lucid dreamers turn to face their pursuers, discovering they transform or disappear. The act of confronting fear within the dream can catalyze confronting fear in waking life. The environments your dreams create, whether lucid or not, often symbolize your psychological state. A chaotic, confusing dream landscape might reflect feeling overwhelmed. A beautiful, peaceful setting might indicate emotional well-being. Empty spaces might represent loneliness or lost potential. Locked rooms might symbolize parts of yourself you can't access. When lucid, you can explore these environments with intention. You might deliberately open that locked door to see what's inside. You might try to bring light to dark spaces. You might look for exits in maze-like structures. The responses of the dream environment to your actions can be revealing. Sometimes the door opens easily, suggesting the barrier wasn't as solid as you thought. Sometimes it's truly locked, perhaps indicating you're not ready to access that material yet. Flying dreams, especially lucid ones, often relate to desires for transcendence, freedom, or escape from restrictions. Flying is one of the most common lucid dream activities, and it's usually exhilarating. The sensation is reportedly very realistic, complete with feelings of wind, motion, and perspective shifts. But why flying psychologically? It represents freedom from earthly constraints, both physical and metaphorical. Freedom from responsibilities, expectations, limitations. When you fly in a lucid dream, you're temporarily free from gravity, from physics, from rules. This might express a deep desire to transcend your current situation, to rise above problems, to gain perspective. Some researchers suggest flying dreams become more common during periods of stress or restriction, when the unconscious seeks relief through the ultimate liberation, defying gravity itself. Sexual dreams, including lucid ones, aren't always about sex. They often symbolize desires for intimacy, creativity, or union with parts of yourself. Yes, sometimes sexual dreams reflect actual sexual desires, straightforward wish fulfillment, but often they carry deeper symbolic meanings. Intimacy with another person might represent integrating qualities they possess. Creating new life might symbolize creativity or new beginnings. The pleasure and energy of sexual dreams might represent vitality and life force more generally. When lucid during sexual dreams, people report complex experiences. Some pursue the dream sexually, finding it fulfilling. Others become curious about the symbolic meaning, asking the dream or themselves what the encounter really represents. The answer can be surprising, revealing desires for connection, wholeness, or creative expression in unexpected forms. Being naked in public is a common anxiety dream that reveals concerns about exposure and vulnerability. We've all probably had this one. You're in a familiar setting, school, work, a party, and suddenly realize you're not wearing clothes. Everyone is staring. You feel mortified. The meaning is usually about feeling exposed, vulnerable, unprepared, or caught being your true self in situations where you normally maintain a facade. What makes you feel exposed in waking life? Where do you fear judgment? Becoming lucid during this dream scenario often changes it dramatically. You might realize no one actually cares about your nudity. You might decide to find clothes, symbolically addressing the vulnerability, or you might embrace the nakedness, releasing the fear of exposure. How you handle it lucidly often reflects your relationship with authenticity and judgment. Dreams about teeth falling out often relate to concerns about appearance, aging, communication, or loss of power. This is another extremely common dream with rich symbolic potential. Teeth are associated with attractiveness, aging, the ability to bite and defend oneself, and the ability to speak clearly. Losing them might express fears of losing these capacities, concerns about attractiveness fading, worry about communication breaking down, feeling powerless in situations requiring assertiveness. Some people trace these dreams to specific life stresses, like difficult conversations they're avoiding or aging anxieties. In lucid dreams, you might ask why your teeth are falling out and receive an answer from the dream itself. Sometimes the response is surprisingly literal, pointing to a specific waking concern you've been dismissing. Water in dreams frequently symbolizes emotions and the unconscious mind itself. Calm, clear water suggests emotional clarity and peace. Rough, stormy water indicates emotional turmoil. Deep water might represent the depths of the unconscious, containing things not yet known. Floods can represent feeling overwhelmed by emotions. Drowning might express being consumed by feelings you can't manage. In lucid dreams, interacting with water can be particularly meaningful. Some lucid dreamers intentionally dive into water, symbolically exploring their emotional depths or unconscious material. Others calm stormy waters by willing them peaceful, perhaps reflecting growing emotional regulation. Still others discover they can breathe underwater in lucid dreams, suggesting they can safely explore emotional depths without drowning. The dream's water becomes a medium for emotional discovery. Houses in dreams often represent the self, with different rooms symbolizing different aspects of your psyche or life. The attic might represent higher consciousness or forgotten memories. The basement might symbolize the unconscious or repressed material. Bedrooms relate to intimacy and rest. Kitchens to nourishment and domestic life. Bathrooms to cleansing and privacy. The condition of the house reflects your self-perception. Is it well-maintained or crumbling? Are some rooms locked or scary? In lucid dreams, exploring the house of self becomes an active investigation. You might venture into previously avoided rooms, confronting avoided aspects of yourself. You might renovate or clean, symbolically working on self-improvement. The discoveries made inside dream houses often directly correlate to personal insights. That locked basement room you finally open might contain a part of yourself you've long denied. And when you're lucid, you can consciously choose to open it. You're still here with me, thoughts still flickering like candlelight. Just notice. Don't judge. Just notice where your mind is. We're exploring consciousness itself, the very thing doing the exploring right now. Strange, beautiful, and perfectly calm. Let's drift onward together. The brain creates dreams using the same neural networks it uses for imagination and memory during waking. Dreams aren't generated by some separate dream system. They're produced by your normal cognitive machinery, operating in a different mode during sleep. The same brain regions that let you imagine future scenarios, remember past experiences, and simulate social interactions, while awake continue working during REM sleep. They just do so without external input or reality constraints. This explains why dreams feel so real and why they reflect your psychological reality. They're built from the same materials as your waking mental life. Your memories, concerns, desires, just recombined in novel ways. The unconscious doesn't speak a completely foreign language. It speaks your language, just with different grammar. REM, sleep, when most dreaming occurs. Evolved partly to help process emotional experiences and consolidate memories. While you dream, your brain is actively working through the previous day's events, sorting what to remember and what to discard, processing emotions attached to experiences, and integrating new information with existing knowledge. This isn't random. It's purposeful, even if not consciously directed. Dreams often focus on emotionally significant material because that's what needs processing. They also incorporate things you desire because desire is emotionally charged, psychologically important. Your brain during sleep gives priority processing to what matters most to you. So naturally, dreams reveal what you care about, what you want, what you fear. They're not trying to hide these things. They're trying to process them. The prefrontal cortex, which handles executive control and self-reflection, is relatively quiet during normal dreaming. This is why you accept bizarre dream logic and don't question impossible situations. Your critical thinking is offline. Your reality monitoring is disabled. Without the prefrontal cortex's supervision, other brain regions generate dream content more freely, uncensored by social norms, logical constraints, or conscious preferences. This state allows desires and concerns to surface in their purest form. The dream doesn't care if what it presents is socially acceptable or practically possible. It simply shows what's psychologically present. This is why dreams can be so revealing. They bypass the usual filtering. When you become lucid, you temporarily restore some prefrontal function while keeping this deeper material accessible, creating a unique window. Dreams may serve an evolutionary function in threat simulation and preparation. Dr. Antti Revonsuo proposed that dreams evolved as a biological defense mechanism, letting you rehearse responses to dangers in a safe environment. Anxiety dreams, nightmares, and stressful dreams aren't just random neural noise. They're your brain running simulations, preparing you to handle threats. In ancestral environments, dreaming about predators, hostile humans, or environmental dangers might have increased survival by improving threat response. Today, the threats have changed. Social rejection, failure, loss, but the simulation function remains. This explains why dreams often focus on problems and fears rather than pure wish fulfillment. They're problem-solving exercises, and the desires revealed in dreams might indicate what resources or changes you need to handle these perceived threats effectively. Lucid dreaming creates a unique state where conscious reflection can observe unconscious processing in real time. This is extraordinarily rare. Normally, conscious and unconscious operations are separated. You think consciously, and unconscious processes hum along invisibly beneath. But lucid dreaming bridges them. You're conscious enough to observe, yet the dream material comes from unconscious sources. This creates a dialogue. You can ask questions and receive answers from deeper layers of your psyche. You can observe what emerges spontaneously and reflect on its meaning immediately. Some researchers compare it to psychoanalysis compressed into real time. The analyst and the patient are both you, simultaneously. The revelations don't require later interpretation because you're conscious enough to interpret while experiencing them. This is why many people find lucid dreaming profoundly insightful. The lack of external sensory input during sleep allows internally generated desires and concerns to dominate consciousness. While awake, the external world constantly demands attention. You see, hear, touch, smell. Your senses flood your brain with data that must be processed. Your thoughts are partially shaped by this constant input. During sleep, this input ceases. Your brain generates experiences from internal sources only. This magnifies the signal of your psychological state. Desires, anxieties, memories, and concerns become the only content available. They fill the experiential space completely. This is why dreams feel so emotionally intense and personally significant. There's nothing else competing for your attention. When you're lucid in this state, you're experiencing your inner world in its purest form, undiluted by external reality. Different stages of sleep process different types of information, and REM sleep specifically handles emotional and motivational content. Early in the night, deep non-REM sleep helps consolidate factual memories and clear metabolic waste from the brain. Later, during abundant REM sleep, in the early morning, emotional processing takes precedence. The brain replays emotional experiences, sometimes intensifying them, sometimes dampening them, always integrating them into your emotional knowledge base. Desires are fundamentally emotional and motivational. They carry charge, urgency, importance, so they get processed heavily during REM sleep. This is when they appear most vividly in dreams. And if you happen to be lucid during this REM-heavy period, you encounter this emotional material with unusual clarity. The timing isn't random. Your brain has spent the night preparing this content for processing, and lucidity arrives precisely when it's most accessible. The neurotransmitter balance during REM sleep facilitates associative thinking and creative connections over linear logic. During REM, acetylcholine is high, while serotonin and norepinephrine are low. This chemical environment promotes loose associations, metaphorical thinking, and novel combinations. It's ideal for creativity, but poor for critical analysis. Ideas connect in unexpected ways. One image morphs into another. Logic becomes flexible. This is why dreams are so bizarre, and why they're often creatively inspiring. This same chemical state makes dreams excellent at revealing hidden connections between disparate concerns and desires. A work anxiety might be represented through a childhood memory because both connect to a feeling of inadequacy. The dream doesn't explain this connection logically. It shows it through association. Lucidity in this state lets you observe these associations consciously, understanding the links your waking mind might miss. Recurring themes across multiple dreams, whether lucid or not, often point to persistent desires or unresolved conflicts. If you frequently dream about a certain person, that relationship likely holds unprocessed emotional content. If you repeatedly dream of a certain feeling, being trapped, being free, being pursued, that feeling points to something significant in your psychological landscape. The unconscious mind is persistent. It will keep presenting material until it's adequately processed. Lucid dreaming allows you to engage with these recurring themes consciously and intentionally. You can ask the dream directly what it wants to show you. You can try different approaches to the situation, and often, by engaging lucidly, you facilitate the processing that ends the recurrence. The theme resolves not because you've suppressed it, but because you've finally addressed it. Halfway through our journey, the answer is forming. Lucid dreams reveal your desires because they provide conscious access to unconscious processing. They're not magic. They're not messages from external sources. They're you, observing yourself without the usual barriers. The desires revealed aren't always what you'd expect. Sometimes they're straightforward. You want freedom. You dream of flying. Sometimes they're complex. You want acceptance. You dream of performing perfectly in strange scenarios. Sometimes they surprise you. You thought you wanted one thing, but the dream shows you actually want something else entirely. Lucid dreams don't tell you what to desire. They show you what you already desire, often without fully realizing it. And in seeing it clearly, in that moment of lucid awareness inside the dream, something shifts. Recognition itself changes things. Now we continue deeper, toward what these revelations mean. Breathe slowly. Feel the rhythm. Let each breath guide you to realize time is yours, a separate stream that only you are living, while the vast unconscious continues to spin, processing, creating, changing. This second you're breathing, listening, is unique. Cherish the present moment, knowing that right now, your consciousness floats in a special place between wake and sleep, between knowing and discovering. And we continue drifting. Your immediate reaction upon becoming lucid reveals your primary psychological orientation. Do you feel excited and empowered, seeing limitless possibilities? This might reflect an optimistic, exploratory approach to life. Do you feel anxious or overwhelmed by the responsibility of control? This might indicate decision-making anxiety or fear of freedom. Do you feel curious, immediately investigating the dream world? This suggests an analytical, discovery-oriented mindset. Some people feel peaceful, simply enjoying awareness without needing to change anything. Others feel urgent to accomplish something before the dream ends. These instant reactions, uncensored by conscious thought, Map your baseline emotional relationship with control, freedom, and possibility. You discover not just what you want, but how you relate to wanting itself. The people who appear in your lucid dreams often represent aspects of yourself or important relationship dynamics. While dream figures might look like people you know, they're ultimately your creations, built from your memories and perceptions of those individuals. They often embody qualities you associate with them. A dream of a confident friend might represent your own latent confidence. A dream of a critical parent might represent your internalized self-criticism. When lucid, you can explore these representations explicitly. Ask the dream person what they represent. Sometimes they answer directly. Sometimes their actions or transformation reveals the answer. A hostile figure might become friendly when approached, suggesting the trait it represents isn't actually threatening. These encounters in lucidity become opportunities for psychological integration. Your ability or inability to control aspects of lucid dreams reflects your sense of agency in waking life. Some lucid dreamers find controlling dreams natural and easy. They can fly, change settings, summon people effortlessly. Others struggle despite full lucidity. They know they're dreaming but can't affect anything. This parallels real-life agency. Do you generally feel able to influence outcomes through your choices, or do you feel relatively powerless despite awareness? The dream becomes a safe space to explore these feelings. If you can't fly in a lucid dream, perhaps you don't fully believe you can rise above your circumstances in life. If you can alter a frightening dream scenario, perhaps you have more power over fear than you've recognized. The metaphors run deep. Violent or aggressive content in lucid dreams doesn't necessarily indicate violent desires in waking life. Dreams deal in symbolism and metaphor. Destroying something in a dream might represent ending a phase of life or eliminating a harmful pattern. Fighting might represent internal conflict or standing up for yourself. Before assuming dream aggression reflects problematic desires, consider the context and feeling. Do you feel empowered or disturbed by the violence? What is being destroyed or fought? Often, aggressive dream actions represent necessary psychological transformations. The death of dream figures can symbolize ego death, letting go of old identities. Lucidity allows you to engage with these symbols consciously, understanding their metaphorical rather than literal significance. Desires for connection, love, and intimacy often manifest in lucid dreams as seeking or creating beautiful relationships. If you find yourself in lucid dreams gravitating toward people, creating companionship, or deepening connections, this reveals fundamental human needs for belonging and intimacy. These might be needs currently unmet in waking life, or they might simply be the mind exploring relationship possibilities. The quality of these dream relationships matters. Do they feel authentic and reciprocal, or do they feel one-sided or superficial? Lucidity lets you notice these qualities and consider what they might reflect about your actual relationships or your relationship with yourself. Sometimes the most meaningful connection in a lucid dream is with yourself, recognizing you're both the dreamer and the dream. Creative desires often emerge in lucid dreams as spontaneous art creation, music, writing, or world building. Many lucid dreamers report creating astonishing beauty inside their dreams. Music they've never heard, art beyond their waking skill, ideas that feel genuinely novel. This reveals not just creativity, but the desire for creative expression. If you find yourself painting dream landscapes or composing dream symphonies, Some part of you wants to create but perhaps lacks outlet or confidence while awake. The dream becomes a judgment-free creative space. Some artists and writers deliberately use lucid dreams for inspiration, capturing ideas and sensations that feel impossible to generate consciously. The creativity revealed is genuine. Even if the medium is ephemeral, desires for escape or transcendence often appear as leaving Earth, flying through space, or transforming into non-human forms. These dreams point to a wish to transcend current limitations, to experience existence without ordinary constraints. Flying through galaxies might represent desiring perspective beyond daily concerns. Transforming into an animal might reflect wanting instinctual simplicity or specific qualities that animal represents. Becoming pure energy or light might indicate desires for transcendence beyond physical form entirely. These aren't necessarily spiritual desires in a religious sense, though they can be. Often they're psychological desires to move beyond whatever feels constraining. Circumstances, relationships, self-concepts, physical limitations. The specific form of escape reveals what you most wish to transcend. Desires for knowledge, understanding, and discovery often manifest as exploring unknown places, reading dream books, or conversing with wise figures. If your lucid dreams tend toward investigation, opening doors, asking questions, seeking hidden rooms, you're revealing an orientation toward discovery and understanding. This might reflect intellectual curiosity or a search for personal meaning. Some lucid dreamers encounter dream libraries full of books and report finding profound insights in their pages. Others meet teachers or guides who offer wisdom. While these experiences are self-generated, the wisdom often feels genuinely novel and valuable. You're accessing knowledge you possess but don't consciously know you possess. Insights waiting in your mental architecture for the right state to access them. Desires for healing and wholeness often appear as encounters with helpful figures, healing environments, or transformations of broken things into whole things. The mind naturally seeks equilibrium and health. In lucid dreams, this drive toward wholeness can manifest symbolically. A broken object repairs itself. A wounded dream character heals. A chaotic environment becomes ordered. You might find yourself in a beautiful, peaceful place that feels deeply restorative. These dreams reveal desires for psychological or physical healing, for resolution of inner conflicts, for integration of fragmented aspects of self. They point toward what needs healing and sometimes suggest pathways to wholeness. Lucidity allows conscious participation in this healing process, making it an active rather than passive experience. Desires for control and mastery often show up as developing dream superpowers or solving complex problems. Can you manipulate time, read minds, teleport, control elements in your lucid dreams? These abilities metaphorically represent desires for power and competence. They might indicate frustration with feeling powerless in waking situations, or simply reveal natural desires for efficacy and mastery. Humans fundamentally want to affect outcomes, to solve problems, to demonstrate competence. Lucid dreams offer a space where you have ultimate control, constrained only by your beliefs about what's possible. The limits you encounter in lucid dreams often parallel the limits you impose on yourself while awake. Breaking through dream limitations can feel like breaking through psychological limitations. The emotions you experience during lucid dreams are as real as waking emotions. processed by the same brain systems. Whether you feel joy, fear, love, or excitement in a lucid dream, your amygdala activates. Your heart rate changes. Your body responds. These aren't simulations of emotions. They are emotions, generated by your brain regardless of whether the triggering experience is externally real. This means the emotional content of lucid dreams is valid data about your psychological state. If you consistently feel joyful when flying in lucid dreams, that joy is real and points to a genuine psychological need being met. If you feel anxious even when knowing you're safe in a dream, that anxiety is real and indicates something requiring attention. Lucid dreams become emotional laboratories for exploring your feeling states. Nightmares becoming lucid often transform, revealing that the fear was less about the threat and more about feeling powerless. When you become lucid during a nightmare, the monster or threat doesn't always disappear. Sometimes it remains, but your relationship to it changes completely. You know it can't truly harm you. You remember, you're creating it. This shift often causes the threat to transform or become non-threatening. What this reveals is profound. Much of your fear isn't about the feared thing itself, but about feeling helpless before it. Lucidity restores agency, and with agency, terror becomes manageable. This translates directly to waking life. Many anxieties persist, not because the feared outcome is catastrophic, but because you feel unable to respond effectively. Lucid nightmares teach that awareness and agency transform fear. Sexual content in lucid dreams, when examined, often reveals desires for specific experiences, qualities, or integrations beyond physical sexuality. While lucid dream sex can be pursued for pleasure alone, pausing to examine it often reveals layers. Who is the partner? And what do they represent to you? Confidence, creativity, wildness, gentleness. The union might symbolize integrating those qualities into yourself. The pleasure experienced might represent general life force and vitality rather than specifically sexual desire. Some lucid dreamers report that sexual dreams transform mid-experience into something entirely different. Creative expression, spiritual connection, profound joy. The energy is fundamentally the same, just directed toward different expressions. Understanding what you're really seeking beneath the surface reveals deeper psychological and spiritual desires. Lucid dreams about deceased loved ones often reveal unfinished emotional business or ongoing relationship with their memory. These dreams can be extraordinarily meaningful. Becoming lucid while dreaming of someone who has died creates a unique opportunity. You can say goodbye if you didn't before. You can ask questions. You can simply spend time together. While you intellectually know you're creating their presence from memory, the experience feels genuinely interactive. They might say things that surprise you, pulling from your memories of them in ways your conscious mind wouldn't construct. These dreams reveal ongoing relationship with the deceased, continuing bonds that transcend physical presence. They show what you wish you'd said, what you're grateful for, what you still miss. They offer a form of closure or connection that waking life can't provide. Over multiple lucid dreams, patterns emerge that map your core desires, fears, and unfinished psychological business. A single lucid dream offers a glimpse, but keeping a lucid dream journal over months or years reveals consistent themes. You might notice you always seek certain types of places: heights, water, Forests. You might recognize patterns in your dream relationships, always seeking approval, or always helping others, or always isolated. You might find that certain desires recur, flying away, diving deep, moving through barriers. These patterns aren't random. They're signatures of your psychological structure, your motivational core, your deepest concerns. By mapping them, you create a psychological portrait more accurate than most self-report could achieve, because you're observing yourself when defenses are down, when you're most authentic. Your lucid dream goals reveal your value priorities. If you consistently use lucid dreams for pleasure-seeking, that's one value set. If you use them for problem-solving, that's another. If you use them for spiritual exploration, yet another. There's no right way to lucid dream. The variety of approaches people take reveals their different priorities. Some see dreams as entertainment. Others see them as tools for personal growth. Still others see them as spiritual practice. Whatever you gravitate toward reveals what you value most. Do you seek thrills and novelty? Do you seek understanding and insight? Do you seek peace and rest? Do you seek creative inspiration? Your spontaneous choices in lucid dreams, when there are no external expectations or judgments, reveal your authentic priorities. The stability or instability of your lucid dreams often parallels your psychological state. When your waking life feels chaotic or stressful, lucid dreams tend to be unstable, fleeting, hard to maintain. When you're grounded and centered in life, lucid dreams tend to be stable, clear, easily controlled. Your dream consciousness mirrors your waking consciousness. This creates a feedback loop. By learning to stabilize lucid dreams through specific techniques, spinning, rubbing hands together, focusing on details, you simultaneously develop stabilization skills that apply to waking awareness. Emotional regulation, attention control, and meta-awareness all improve. Conversely, improving these skills while awake enhances lucid dreaming. The boundary between sleep and wake practice dissolves. Working on one domain helps the other. Conversations with your own subconscious in lucid dreams can be surprisingly productive and insightful. Some lucid dreamers develop techniques for direct dialogue with deeper aspects of mind. They might call out to the dream itself, asking questions. What do I need to know? What am I avoiding? What does this symbol mean? Sometimes answers come as voices, sometimes as intuitions, sometimes as sudden scene changes that demonstrate rather than explain. While you're ultimately talking to yourself, you're accessing information not usually available to conscious reflection. It's like interviewing an expert who happens to be you. The insights gained can be actionable and transformative, offering perspectives your conscious mind hadn't considered, revealing blind spots and hidden resources. Your relationship with dream figures, especially recurring ones, often mirrors your relationship with internal psychological forces. If you have a recurring, threatening figure, how do you relate to it? Do you fight, flee, attempt dialogue? Your pattern reveals how you handle internal threats, anxiety, self-criticism, fear. If you have a recurring, helpful figure, do you accept their help or insist on independence? This reveals how you relate to support and guidance generally. Lucid dreaming offers chances to consciously change these patterns. You might try a new approach, facing what you usually flee, fleeing what you usually face. These experiments in dream behavior often catalyze shifts in waking behavior. The internal practice translates to external change. The scenery and atmosphere of your lucid dreams reveals your aesthetic preferences and psychological climate. Do your dreams tend toward beautiful natural landscapes, urban environments, surreal, impossible architectures? The settings your mind creates reflect both aesthetic preferences and symbolic psychological states. Cluttered environments might indicate mental clutter. Vast, open spaces might indicate freedom or emptiness. Dark, oppressive spaces might reflect depression or anxiety. Beautiful, luminous spaces might reflect peace or joy. When lucid, you can consciously shape these environments, but often it's more revealing to observe what emerges naturally before exerting control. The default scenery of your dreaming mind maps your psychological atmosphere. What you choose to do upon becoming lucid often shifts over time as you exhaust surface desires and encounter deeper ones. First-time lucid dreamers often pursue obvious fantasies: flying, sex, adventure. But after doing these repeatedly, they often lose appeal. You discover that flying, while exhilarating initially, becomes routine, and beneath the desire to fly, you might find a deeper desire for perspective or freedom that flying symbolizes but doesn't fully satisfy. Many experienced lucid dreamers report their practices deepening over time, moving from entertainment to exploration, from wish fulfillment to psychological work, from personal to transpersonal experiences. The evolution of your lucid dream activities maps your psychological and spiritual development. The boundaries between self and other often dissolve in advanced lucid dreams, revealing desires for connection and transcendence of ego. Some lucid dreamers report experiences where their separate identity feels permeable or illusory. They might merge with dream figures, experiencing both perspectives simultaneously. They might feel connected to the entire dream environment, as if it's an extension of themselves. These experiences often feel profoundly meaningful, spiritual even. They reveal deep desires for connection, for transcendence of the isolated ego, for experiencing oneness with something larger. While dreams are always products of your mind, these transpersonal experiences suggest that your mind can model states of consciousness beyond ordinary self-awareness, perhaps pointing toward capacities that exist in meditation, psychedelic states, or mystical experiences. Your lucid dreams might reveal that some things you think you want, you don't actually want when given the opportunity. This is one of the most valuable insights. You might have a conscious goal or desire that seems important, but when given free rein to pursue it in a lucid dream, you discover it doesn't satisfy. You thought you wanted power, but dream omnipotence feels empty. You thought you wanted endless pleasure, but it quickly becomes boring. This discrepancy reveals authentic versus adopted desires. Sometimes we think we want things because culture says we should, or because we're compensating for insecurity, or because we haven't examined the desire closely. Lucid dreams offer a testing ground where you can pursue anything without real-world consequences and discover what genuinely matters. The ease or difficulty of maintaining lucidity reflects your capacity for sustained awareness and presence in waking life. Some people achieve lucidity easily but lose it within seconds, slipping back into unconscious dreaming or waking. Others maintain stable lucidity for extended periods. This parallels mindfulness capacity, Can you maintain present moment awareness for sustained periods while awake, or does your mind constantly wander? Attention fragmenting lucidity is essentially mindfulness during sleep. Training one strengthens the other. Many meditation traditions explicitly include lucid dreaming practice because the skills are identical. Maintaining awareness. Observing mental processes without identifying with them. Remaining present rather than lost in thought. Your lucid dreaming ability maps your overall consciousness development. We now understand that lucid dreams reveal what you truly want by showing you what your mind creates when freed from external constraints and conscious filtering. They're not perfect mirrors. Dream symbolism can be opaque. Interpretation isn't always straightforward, but they're more honest than most waking self-reflection. Your defenses are down. Your social performance is unnecessary. You're not trying to be anything other than what you are. And in that unguarded state, authentic desires, fears, and motivations surface. They might be uncomfortable to recognize. You might discover you want things you judge yourself for wanting, or don't want things you think you should want. But this discomfort is valuable. It's truth. And truth, even uncomfortable truth, is the foundation for meaningful growth. By understanding what you genuinely want, you can make informed choices about how to live. You might be feeling tired now. That's perfectly fine. Breathe slowly. Feel the cycles. Dreams emerge and fade. Thoughts arise and dissolve. Awareness flickers on and off. All are circles. Cycles. Endless rhythms. Like your breath. In and out. In and out. A small cycle within the vast universe. You are also part of that eternal movement. You don't need to hold on to anything. Let everything unfold in its perfect order, like dreams forming and fading. Unhurried, unresisting, simply existing. We're almost there now. Ultimately, lucid dreams teach that you are the creator of your experience, both sleeping and waking. This recognition is perhaps the most profound insight lucid dreaming offers. When you become lucid, you realize with absolute certainty that everything in the dream is your creation. The people, the places, the events, all emerge from your mind. Nothing exists except what consciousness produces. This seems obvious intellectually, but is experientially revolutionary. And then you wake, and the question arises, in what ways is waking life also created by consciousness, not the physical world itself, necessarily, but your experience of it, your interpretations, your emotional reactions, your narrative about what's happening. Lucid dreaming offers a felt sense of consciousness's creative power that can transform how you relate to waking reality. The desires lucid dreams reveal aren't always things you should pursue. Sometimes, understanding a desire is enough. You recognize it, acknowledge it, and consciously choose not to act on it. Not all desires serve your highest good or align with your values. Some are evolutionary remnants. Some are responses to trauma. Some are misguided attempts to meet legitimate needs. Lucid dreams reveal desires without judgment, without telling you they're good or bad. That evaluation is your conscious responsibility. The gift isn't always pursuing what you discover you want. Sometimes, the gift is seeing clearly what you want and choosing wisely whether and how to pursue it. The awareness itself is the value. Many experienced lucid dreamers report Their practice leads to greater self-compassion and acceptance. When you spend time observing your unconscious mind without judgment, when you see the full range of what emerges from your psyche, when you recognize that much of what appears is outside your conscious control, you develop compassion for yourself. You see you're not as in control as you thought. You see you contain multitudes, some contradictory. You see you're complex, messy, human. This can be humbling and liberating. You stop expecting yourself to be perfectly consistent or rational. You accept the human condition more fully. And this self-compassion often extends to others. You recognize they too contain depths they don't fully control, desires they don't fully understand, dreams they're still discovering. Lucid dreams can reveal not just individual desires, but universal human longings that connect you to all humans across time. Certain dreams recur across cultures and eras. Flying, falling, being chased, losing teeth, appearing naked, being late or unprepared. These common dreams point to universal human experiences and concerns. When you encounter them lucidly, you might recognize you're not alone in your fears and desires. Everyone wants freedom. Flying. Everyone fears falling from grace or position. Falling. Everyone experiences vulnerability. Nakedness. These shared symbols connect you to collective human experience. Your most personal dreams often reveal your most universal nature. Understanding your individual desires through lucid dreaming can paradoxically reveal how fundamentally similar you are to all humans. The practice of lucid dreaming itself reveals a desire for consciousness, for awareness, for not being unconscious during a third of your life. Why do people pursue lucid dreaming? Because they want to be awake, aware, present. They don't want to spend 8 hours every night unconscious. This desire for consciousness is itself revealing. It points toward a fundamental value. Awareness matters. Experience matters. Being present for your life, even the sleeping parts, matters. This often extends beyond dreams into waking life. People who practice lucid dreaming often simultaneously develop mindfulness practices. Meditation, contemplative inquiry. The desire revealed is the desire to live fully consciously, to not sleepwalk through either sleep or waking life. Lucid dreams show that desires are often layered. Surface desires point to deeper needs, which point to even deeper longings. You might desire wealth, which serves a desire for security, which serves a need for feeling valued, which ultimately connects to a spiritual longing for worth and existence mattering. Lucid dreams, when engaged with repeatedly and thoughtfully, can help you trace these layers. You pursue a surface desire in a dream and discover it doesn't satisfy. So you go deeper. Eventually, you might reach core human needs: to be loved, to matter, to be seen, to be safe, to experience beauty, to connect with something transcendent. Understanding these deep structures helps you meet needs more directly, rather than through endless pursuit of surface desires that never quite satisfy. Many lucid dreamers report encountering what feels like genuine wisdom or guidance from dream figures or the dream itself. While skeptics would say this is just accessing knowledge you already possess, the phenomenology is often experienced as receiving rather than generating. A dream figure says something you feel you couldn't have thought of consciously. The dream presents a solution to a problem you'd been struggling with. An insight arrives that shifts your entire perspective. Whether this is deep unconscious processing or something more, it suggests your mind contains more wisdom than you normally access. Lucid dreams provide a channel to this wisdom. The desires they reveal often include desires you didn't know you had, pointing toward potentials you didn't recognize. The dreaming mind doesn't operate by logic but by association, metaphor, and symbol. Understanding this helps interpret what lucid dreams reveal. If you dream of being in school, it might not mean you desire to be in school, but rather that you're in a learning situation or being evaluated or feel unprepared. The school is a symbol. Lucid dreaming allows you to work with symbols consciously. You can ask, what does this represent? Sometimes the answer comes immediately. Sometimes you have to reflect after waking. But recognizing that dreams speak symbolically prevents literal misinterpretation. The desires revealed are often symbolic too. Flying might symbolize freedom rather than literal desire to fly. Water might symbolize emotions. Houses might represent the self. Understanding the symbolic language reveals deeper truths. Lucid dreams often reveal the difference between happiness and meaning. Many first-time lucid dreamers pursue pleasure, joy, excitement, and these experiences can be wonderful. But over time, many report that the most meaningful lucid dreams aren't the most pleasurable ones. The ones that stay with you, that change something, are often challenging, difficult, or emotionally complex. Confronting a fear, working through grief, encountering profound beauty mixed with sadness. These experiences, while not purely pleasurable, feel deeply meaningful. They satisfy something beyond hedonic desire. This mirrors waking life, where many of the most meaningful experiences aren't pure pleasure. Lucid dreams, by providing both pleasure and meaning experiences, help you discern which you value more deeply. Some lucid dreamers report experiences that feel mystical or spiritual, encounters with what seems like something beyond individual psychology, dreams of cosmic consciousness, of experiencing the universe's perspective, of encountering presences that feel numinous. While these are ultimately brain states, they're nonetheless genuine experiences of consciousness touching something that feels transcendent. They reveal spiritual longings, desires for connection with something greater than self, hungers for meaning beyond material existence. Not everyone experiences or seeks this dimension, but for those who do, lucid dreams become spiritual practice. They reveal that beneath everyday desires for success, pleasure, and security might lie deeper spiritual desires for transcendence, meaning, and connection with the sacred. Lucid dreams can facilitate shadow work, encountering and integrating rejected or denied aspects of yourself. Carl Jung spoke of the shadow, the parts of ourselves we disown and project onto others. In dreams, shadow material often appears as threatening or uncomfortable figures. When you become lucid and choose to engage with these figures rather than flee or fight, profound integration can occur. You might ask a threatening figure what it represents and discover it embodies a quality you've rejected in yourself. Anger, neediness, ambition, sexuality. By acknowledging and integrating rather than rejecting these aspects, you become more whole. Lucid dreams reveal not just positive desires, but disowned ones. Things you want but don't want to want. Accepting the full range, makes you more integrated, authentic, and psychologically healthy. The desires revealed in lucid dreams often change as you change. Early in life, dreams might reveal desires for achievement, recognition, romantic connection. Midlife, they might shift to desires for meaning, authentic self-expression, or legacy. Late in life, they might focus on peace, acceptance, or spiritual concerns. Your dreams evolve as you evolve. They're not static maps, but dynamic reflections of your current developmental stage and psychological concerns. Keeping a lucid dream journal over years reveals this evolution. You can watch yourself grow through the lens of your dreams. What you wanted at 25 differs from what you want at 45 or 65. Lucid dreams track this journey, showing not just who you are, but who you're becoming. Sometimes lucid dreams reveal that what you truly want is simply to be present, aware, alive to experience. The desire isn't for specific external things, but for consciousness itself. Many advanced lucid dreamers report that their most satisfying dreams involve neither control nor wish fulfillment, but simply being fully present in the dream, observing without needing to change anything, experiencing without grasping. This parallels meditative states and suggests a deep human desire for pure awareness, for consciousness recognizing itself. When external desires are temporarily satisfied or set aside, what remains is this simple desire to experience, to exist consciously. This might be the deepest desire lucid dreams reveal, the desire to live fully and consciously. Lucid dreams reveal the paradox that you are both the dreamer and the dream. You're creating everything, yet experiencing it as if it's happening to you. This paradoxical relationship mirrors waking life in ways that are philosophically profound. You are both the subject experiencing life and, in some sense, the creator of your experience through your perceptions, interpretations, and consciousness. Lucid dreaming makes this dual nature viscerally obvious. You see that everything is you, yet it feels other than you. Working with this paradox in dreams can shift how you relate to waking life. You become less identified with thoughts and emotions, recognizing them as contents of consciousness rather than your essential self. You simultaneously take more responsibility for your experience while holding it more lightly. So could lucid dreams show what you really want? They already have. Every time you've become lucid, you've seen something true about yourself. Maybe just a glimpse, maybe something profound, but always something authentic. Because dreams don't lie. They don't perform or pretend. They simply are. The unconscious doesn't have an agenda beyond integration, processing, healing. It shows you what's there. And when consciousness witnesses what's there, when the lucid mind observes the dreaming mind, truth emerges. Not always comfortable truth, not always welcome truth, but truth nonetheless. Your desires, revealed in the strange theater of sleep, are more honest than most waking admissions. They show you who you really are beneath everything you tell yourself you should be. Many people fear what they might discover in lucid dreams, and that fear itself is revealing. If you're reluctant to look deeply at your dreams, what are you avoiding knowing about yourself? Sometimes we resist self-knowledge because we fear we won't like what we find. We might discover we're not who we think we are. We might find desires we judge as wrong. We might face pain we've been avoiding. But lucid dreamers often report that what they find, even when difficult, is ultimately liberating. The fear of looking is usually worse than what's actually there. And understanding your authentic desires, even uncomfortable ones, is the foundation for living authentically. Fear of self-knowledge is fear of freedom. Lucid dreams can reveal that many desires aren't yours at all. They're inherited from parents, absorbed from culture, adopted to fit in or be accepted. True desires feel vital, alive, important. Adopted desires feel hollow, obligatory, like you should want them but don't really. In lucid dreams, you can test desires. Pursue what you think you want and notice how it feels. If it feels empty or unsatisfying, even in a dream where it's easily achieved, it's probably not your desire. This discernment is invaluable. Many people spend lives pursuing inherited desires, wondering why achievement doesn't bring satisfaction. Lucid dreams offer a laboratory for testing desires before committing waking resources to them. They reveal what's authentically yours versus what you've adopted. The very act of seeking lucidity in dreams demonstrates a desire for self-knowledge and consciousness. You're reading this, thinking about this, because some part of you wants to understand yourself more deeply, wants to be more aware, wants to live more consciously. That desire itself is important to recognize. It's a desire for truth, for authenticity, for not being deceived, even by yourself. This epistemological desire for knowledge, particularly self-knowledge, is a profound human capacity. Not everyone has it to the same degree. That you're interested in what dreams reveal suggests you value understanding over comfortable ignorance. That's a significant aspect of who you are. Lucid dreams ultimately show that desire itself is neutral. What matters is relationship with desire. Do you grasp desperately? Do you deny and repress? Do you acknowledge and choose consciously? Lucid dreaming teaches a middle path. You see desires clearly without immediately acting on them. You can experience wanting something without needing to pursue it. You develop what Buddhists call non-attachment, not suppressing desire but relating to it differently. You can want something and simultaneously recognize that getting it won't fundamentally change who you are. This wisdom, cultivated in dreams, transforms waking relationship with desire. You pursue what matters without desperate clinging. You accept not getting what you want without devastation. You desire freely, lightly, consciously. Some of the most profound, lucid dreams involve encountering beauty, love, or transcendence that reveals desires you didn't know language for. You experience something in a dream that feels sacred, whole, overwhelmingly beautiful. And in that moment, you recognize a desire that transcends normal categories. Not desire for a thing or even an experience, but desire for the good, the true, the beautiful, desire for meaning itself. These moments, while rare, can be life-changing. They reveal that beneath all specific desires lies something deeper, a longing for connection with whatever is most real, most valuable, most meaningful. Different traditions name this differently, but the desire is recognizable across traditions as fundamentally human, the desire for ultimate rather than conditional value. Lucid dreams show that the question, "What do I really want?" has multiple valid answers that change with context. You want security and adventure. You want solitude and connection. You want to grow and stay comfortable. These aren't contradictions, but different truths at different times. Dreams reveal this complexity. One night you dream of wild freedom. The next, cozy safety. Both are true. Lucid dreaming teaches holding multiple truths simultaneously. You're not one fixed thing with one fixed set of desires. You're dynamic, contextual, multifaceted. Accepting this complexity is accepting your humanity. The answer to "what do I want" is many things, sometimes contradictory, always changing. And that's okay. Your lucid dreams might reveal that what you most want is to want less, to be content, to release the constant hunger for more, different, better. Some lucid dreamers discover that their most peaceful dreams involve simply being present without grasping for anything. No control, no wish fulfillment, just awareness. This points toward a desire for peace, for end of striving, for acceptance of what is. It's a paradoxical desire, wanting to want less, but it's deeply human, especially as people mature. The endless pursuit of desires can become exhausting. Sometimes what you really want is rest from wanting. Lucid dreams can offer this rest. Moments of pure being without needing anything to be different. Ultimately, lucid dreams teach that knowing what you want is the beginning, not the end. The real question is what you'll do with that knowledge. Will you pursue authentic desires courageously? Will you release desires that don't serve you? Will you find creative ways to meet needs the desires point toward? Will you develop compassion for yourself as a wanting creature? Insights lucid dreams provide are only valuable if they inform how you live. They're not meant to stay in dreams. They're meant to transform waking life. This is where the real work begins. Taking dream wisdom into daily choices, relationships, and actions. Many lucid dreamers report that the practice changes their waking life as much as their dream life. They become more aware, more present, more conscious of choices. They catch themselves in habitual patterns and choose differently. They recognize when they're dreaming metaphorically in waking life, lost in fantasies or anxieties instead of present to reality. The skills developed lucid dreaming: metacognition, reality testing, awareness of consciousness itself, transfer to waking. You become more lucid while awake, and this waking lucidity might be the real gift. Not just knowing what you want in dreams, but being conscious enough while awake to pursue what truly matters. The deepest truth lucid dreams reveal is this: you are consciousness experiencing itself through the play of desire, the wanting, the seeking, the discovering. All of it is consciousness, exploring its own nature. Your desires aren't problems to solve or obstacles to overcome. They're part of how awareness knows itself, through longing and fulfillment, through lacking and having, through the full spectrum of wanting. Lucid dreams show this most clearly. In the moment of lucidity, you are pure awareness, recognizing the dream it's creating, including the desires animating it. And perhaps that's the ultimate answer to what you really want. You want to be fully conscious, fully alive, fully present to the entire spectrum of human experience. Awake in sleep, awake in waking, simply awake. And now, you have been, and so, our quiet journey through lucid dreams comes to a gentle close. We've traveled from the first moment of awareness, flickering inside sleep, to the profound recognition that you are both dreamer and dream. Discovering along the way that dreams don't hide desires, but reveal them honestly. From the specific brain regions, lighting up with self-reflection, to the universal human longing for consciousness itself, we've glimpsed how your sleeping mind speaks truth, your waking mind sometimes fears to hear. Dreams remind us that we contain multitudes. That consciousness explores itself through the play of desire and awareness, through symbols and sensations, through every moment of experience, whether sleeping or waking. Much of the most important work happens in silence, beneath ordinary awareness, in the mysterious realm where your mind creates worlds from nothing. Dreams show us patience, authenticity, and the courage to look honestly at what we truly want. Without dreams, we'd miss half of what consciousness offers. By pausing to notice, we glimpse the extraordinary depth within the ordinary flow of nights and days. In these final minutes, take the deepest breath you can, as deep as possible. Think about the unity of dreaming and waking, of conscious and unconscious, of desire and awareness. You are not separate. You are a link in the endless chain of consciousness experiencing itself. Think about how every dream you've ever had emerged from the same source that creates your waking thoughts right now. Your conscious and unconscious mind are one mind, playing different roles, speaking different languages, but fundamentally unified. Let your entire being dissolve into the peaceful darkness, into the space where all dreams begin and end. Prepare for deep sleep. No boundaries left between dreaming and waking. Only peace. Only consciousness resting in itself. If this thoughtful exploration of the mind helped you relax, fall asleep, or sparked your curiosity tonight, a gentle like and subscribe helps other sleepless souls discover this peaceful space too. It only takes a moment, but it means the world to us. One quiet tap, one sleepy soul at a time. But there's no need to do anything now. Nothing at all. You've traveled far tonight, through layers of consciousness most people never consciously explore. You can allow these thoughts of dreams and desires to fade now, like morning mist dissolving in sunlight, leaving only the gentle calm behind. Let your breathing deepen. Let your body feel heavier, as if sinking into the soft earth that holds you, supported completely. No effort needed. If sleep comes, let it carry you like a leaf floating on a slow river, smoothly, inevitably, into a realm where awareness rests and dreams do their quiet work. If your eyes are still open, the next video is waiting for you, ready to continue the journey. But if they're closed, stay there. Stay in the darkness that feels safe and warm. Tomorrow, your dreams will still be there. Your unconscious will still be creating, processing, revealing. But tonight belongs to stillness, to rest, to letting go of questions and simply being. Rest well, peaceful dreamer, and remember, you are both the one who dreams and the one who awakens. Both are you. Both are real. Both are worthy. Fall asleep to gentle facts, where dream science meets sleep. Relax, listen, and drift into peace. Good night.